is the word entrepreneur means. And before I move on, I have next question to you on your screen. What do you think? Who is an entrepreneur? You can type in some qualities, or you can say risk taker or whatever. You can put in the chat box. Whom do you think should be an entrepreneur, or who is an entrepreneur by your virtue, by what you think? I want answers from guys out here. So I always have this interactive way of conducting the session. So I'm sure that you will also are going to be loving it, having it interactive. I'm seeing some answers. Yes, who builds his own empire? Thank you so much, Mukesh, for that answer. Can we have some more answers, please?
Guys, you can post your answers in the chat, or else you can unmute yourself. You can say the answers also.
Yeah, that is also okay. Yeah. This is a person who is a well administration per Vachu Kadir, right? Thank you so much, Vachu, for that answer. Yes. So, okay. So let me go on to the next thing. So I'll give you, it is not just one thing or not just many things. It's always, a dynamism of lot of things which comes into picture when you call as an entrepreneur. So all of you are excited to know the answer. Here we go. So entrepreneur is no one other than someone has an idea and wants that idea to solve someone's problem. Okay, and typically he or she, of course, makes it a profit making business. That's what an entrepreneur is always meant to be. And it is also, I have put in a great quote here by our own great William Shakespeare, who says that it's in the, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of answers. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Challenger initiator is someone who has a great vision. Thank you so much, guys, for the answers. Right. So it's not on the stars to hold your destiny, but in ourselves. This is the most apt answer. If you call up any of your friend who is an entrepreneur, you call him up and then you ask him, he will resonate the same answer. I mean, same thing as he speaks. So that's the whole thing which I'm trying to drive. It is all but yourself who is thinking on, who is making sure the business is running, who is making sure that you have ready clients are ready to get service from you, get product from you, who's making sure that your employees are all well-being. So it's not just one thing. As I told you, it's a lot of things. It's a culmination of a lot of things, and that's how an entrepreneur is built, right? So let me move on to the next thing in the agenda today. So I'm going to tell you, okay, right? So I'm going to tell you now, next thing is what are the qualities which you can look at an entrepreneur. So this is a slide which covers it all, and also come up with various other things during a course of our presentation. So one is, as I told you, entrepreneur is someone who creates the business, or creates that enterprise what he wants to make. The most important thing is risk taker, right? So someone told in the chat box also, it's all about taking risk, and the entrepreneur knows that, yeah, I mean, I am about to take that risk. In my own personal experience, every day in and day out in an entrepreneurial journey is a risk. I mean, risk in a positive sense, wherein you take every decision counting on various other things, and you will succeed in those things because your gut is strong. You know that what you're doing is right, and that's how you succeed, right? So that is the most thing of an entrepreneur. The other most important thing, I was just having a word with Gulshan sometime before, and he was also telling me the same thing. Entrepreneur is someone who recognizes there is an opportunity, right? So you see that there is an opportunity here. Let me encash this opportunity, and let me make sure that I'm able to make this as a business model. That's what an entrepreneur does, right? So entrepreneur is also someone who recognizes an opportunity, who is an opportunity creator. What sort of opportunity? Even if there is no opportunity, there is opportunity being created. Examples are Ola, Uber, and all of them. How they have created their own opportunity where there was no market for them. There is, I mean, 15 years down the line or 10 years down the line, we would have not even thought there could be a business model of just aggregation of taxi services, and they are the business leaders right now, right? So that's what also what it means to be about, opportunity created. They created an opportunity in the market by themselves than looking for an opportunity which is available, right? Of course, entrepreneur is a leader. He is bound to be a leader because he's the one who takes the ship along. He's the one who makes sure that whole of the ecosystem is doing right, doing things properly. This thing, philosopher is the most, I would say, dicey thing with respect to being an entrepreneur, because you need to make sure that you have something on your brain, or, as you're taking decisions, you have that things engraved in you so that you're taking a right decision, right? So for that, you will have to be equipped with all right things in your brain. And that's how philosopher comes into picture, as in, that, okay, this is what it is going to happen, this is how it is going to happen, this is how I'm going to react. That is what is all about entrepreneurship. It's also about, he's an innovator. We know a lot of them who have done that, starting from Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook to Ritesh Agarwal of Oyo to whom not, right? So all of us have seen a lot of innovators, and I'm sure all of you would have learned a lot of them. Entrepreneur needs to be competitive in the sense he needs to know that where to bend down, where to buckle up. So there may be situations in your journey that wherein you would need to come down your prices or come down your service levels for the relationship of the client whomever you're getting into, or vice versa. So that's the competitive spirit which an entrepreneur needs to have. If you are like rigid, if you are like, no, this is what I'm going to do, I'm sorry, you cannot succeed. And the most important thing which I feel is should be highly motivated. That too in today's context, an entrepreneur is someone who needs to be highly motivated, because motivation is the first thing which is going to take us along. So that is what is in the nutshell on all the qualities, or on the qualities of the entrepreneur. Now I would also like to tell you that why, one sec please, I'm sorry, why you want to be an entrepreneur. I mean, this is a question which I would love to know the answers from all of you, because I saw 61% of you said that you want to be an entrepreneur. Now I want to understand why you want to be an entrepreneur. Can you use the chat box to say why you want to be an entrepreneur? Okay, Vignesh is asking what is the aim of your first feed business services. I'll come to you, Vignesh, on that. Maybe during the question and answer session, I'll tell you, or you can also have a one-to-one with me where I can tell you that. Satyapriya has told entrepreneur is a starter and entrepreneur is an initiator, challenger, driver. Thank you so much, Satyapriya, for that answer. Yes, I'm waiting for the answer, guys. I'm waiting for the answer from you guys to understand why you want to be an entrepreneur. Can I have some answers? Come on, guys, come on. I know you guys are like very energetic guys, you guys. Okay, so Manivardhan says to create history. Wow, Manivardhan, thank you. Nice. That's the whole lot of motivation which you have got, Manivardhan. Thank you. That to create something that will represent me, a legacy, if you will. Wow, amazing answer, Brijesh. I think you are also in the right line. My creativity doesn't fit in the corporate environment. Wow, Janani, that's an amazing answer. Also, you have realized that what is that you are meant to be, and you are going there. Amazing answer. Um, we also have got Pichai Prema Kumari, who's saying that you have the pleasure of being the master of all your efforts and sow the seeds of hard work and reap the benefits. So well said, Pichai Prema Kumari. You are also right there. Sonupriya says she wants to be her own boss. Yes, Sonupriya, very true. To make a difference in the society. Wow, good answer, Sejal. Thank you so much for your answers, guys. Now we get started, right? So as all of you guys, what you said, that's all there. That's all there. Why someone wants to be an entrepreneur? The first thing is you want to have your own autonomy. Someone said they want to be their own boss, right? and that's what is an entrepreneur all about. So it's not about, being your own boss means, you can chill out, have fun. No, it's not about all that. It's more of about, what you make as decisions and how you make those difficult decisions in your daily life to live along with. Okay, we have got one more answer from Vignesh saying, and for profit also. Very well said, Vignesh. At the end of the day, that's profit which goes onto your pocket than anything else, right? So very well said, Vignesh. Thank you. Being an entrepreneur will give you a freedom to explore our ideas. When you are a risk taker, your ideas get more sensible and sharper ideas. The good answer, Monica. Of course, risk taker. As you become a risk taker, your thinking becomes more sharper. Is a good observation, Monica. Thank you so much. So as I told you, autonomy is one thing. You will have your own way of doing things. The second thing is creativity. Again, I got an answer from one of you who said that the creativity what you have got doesn't fit in the corporate culture. Bang on right there. The most important thing is, few of us want to be an entrepreneur because there are like a lot of challenges, and we love those challenges. We love those challenges on a daily basis. You have a lot of challenges to face on, and you embrace those challenges. You take pleasure in solving all those challenges. Amazing. Yes, Pichai has also told that you can give employment to a team rather than being a job seeker. Yes, Pichai, I got your answer. Thank you so much. You are 100% right. That's the biggest effect for the society which an entrepreneur brings. You are absolutely right, Pichai. Thank you. Yes. So, as someone also said, profits. Of course, all of us as an entrepreneur wants to make money. So, none of us are here just to be an entrepreneur and chill aram say without any money. Also telling that I'm an entrepreneur. 2 days, 3 days, you will be happy. Post that you'll not be happy. Trust me. So, financial gain is the most important thing of what an entrepreneur looks like. And this is also important, right? So when you go around, when you say that you're an entrepreneur, the recognition which you get, the people around you who say that okay, this guy has something achieved by on his own, that's the whole recognition you want on your life, because you have achieved something which none of the others have. None of the others, in the sense, the society, I know, owing to our society, at least the society is more often inclined towards daily job of doing things than creating things and making things easy for others. So you are taking that responsibility on your head, and you're going to do that. So that recognition what you get is going to be amazing. The most important thing is power and influence. When we said you can be your own boss, it means that you have a lot of power and a lot of influence. So you influence whole of your company, your employees who are working with you. You have a power to make a decision. If you feel that you can give something free for the customer, you are free to do that. And that's the whole thing which you bring into this table, being an entrepreneur yourself, right? Right. So now I come to the most important part of the session today, for which I have come here. The billion-dollar question: that what are the must-haves, right? So let's get started. There are a lot of must-haves. Trust me, guys, and you're going to enjoy it. So, as I told you, one of the biggest thing which entrepreneur comes with is challenges, and I'm sure all of you would have seen, the David versus Goliath, the whole of the series by itself. It's nothing but what I mean to say is Goliath is like a whole tons of challenging circumstances which you have, and David is you. So you, with your idea, have to come up with this whole lot of mountain-like structure, and you have to embrace through. I mean, you have to pierce through the structure to be successful. And all of you here sure would be successful if you have that grit to go on with these challenges. There are going to be challenges, and you should be that you should have that grit, that I am able to embrace all the challenges whatever comes by, right? So that is the whole thing which you would want to get. And the most important thing here, what I would want to say is, it's okay to be rejected. Before you get an yes, you will get 20 no's. Trust me, that is the right sign. If you get an yes, right on the day one, I'm afraid the sign may not be right. But if you're getting 20 no's before and yes, that's what you are in the right sign of the entrepreneurship journey. You're taking right steps in the entrepreneurship journey. And as I'm speaking to you, my company is like 5.5, 6 years old. I have close to 300, 350 clients and all that. That's fine. But I know myself that for me to get that first 15, 20 clients, I had to get, at least 200 to 250 no's before I could get the first 15, 20 clients, right? So that's the most important thing. The first level of challenges is as you start, for you to get that first order, for you to get that first team member, for you to get that first payment. All of the first are always difficult with respect to entrepreneurship. I won't say difficult, it's challenging. And when I say challenging, it means that we need to have that motivation, grit, that support, that internal strongness to come over all these challenges, right? So yes, the second most important thing which I feel a must have is, you should have that, you should never give up. As I told you, you will have a lot of opportunities. You will have a lot of times when you will be rejected. There will be a lot of ideas which will be said no. Please don't give up, please don't give up. It's always, the strength is always in the follow up of your own activities, right? So don't ever give up. If you are not giving up, if you are making sure that you're right there, you will succeed, right? So the next thing is, the most important thing is, you will have to spend a lot of time. You will be working a lot of time. You will be making sure that there's no 24 hours for you. There's no 9 hours work schedule for you. I'm sorry, an entrepreneur doesn't work that way. So it's all 24 hours for you, and you will have to work a lot of time for the fact that you're building an empire. You are not a normal person. You are not someone who's just come by and go by, right? So the must have is, you need to be ready to give a lot of time, at least during your initial phase of building your own company, maybe for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, how many ever years, as per your goal. You need to give a lot of time. So be ready for that. You should be flexible to give your time. You should be ready to give your time, because it is your passion which you are building, right? So it's not someone else job which you are doing. So when you have come into an entrepreneurship journey, when you want to do something on your own, obviously you have to give a lot of time. It doesn't work. Rome was not built in a day, right? So it takes a lot of time. And the other thing which I feel is more important, which all of you would resonate once you start something on your own, is there will be a lot of people who will be coming and telling you that, what you're doing is not right. Kya kar rahe ho yaar? Ye time pass hai. Chupchap go and join a job. It is not going to help you. Trust me, don't listen to them. Okay, don't listen to them at all, because they don't understand what you're doing. You are doing something great. You are going to build an empire. You're going to solve someone's problem. You're going to be on your own. You are building a company to have employed thousands and thousands of people, and none of them were appreciated when Facebook was created. None of them were appreciated when Bill Gates was booming with the ideas. None of them appreciated any of the entrepreneurs as they were building, right? And that is a journey. When people don't appreciate you, don't give up. Perseverance is the key. Until you succeed, until you make sure that you have something to show up, you will have to be your own motivator. You will have to listen to your brain is the biggest giver for you. He tells you what you should do, and take things in a right way than in a wrong way, right? So as I told you, perseverance is the biggest key. And okay, so now I'll tell you how you start. Okay, so now once you start, what are the challenges which you face during the start? I told you, once you start, this is also bound to happen. You will make a lot of money, which is like very less. You would compare it with, yeah, agar I was in a corporate, I would have earned this much money, that much money. That's okay. That's perfectly okay. You will make a lot of money, which is down the line, which no corporate, no corporate goer or no day-to-day job goer today would make. So brace up. You will have to be, ready for this. That okay, initial days, oh, it's okay. I will make less money because that's how things are going to be. And as far as possible, have a frugal start mindset as you are starting, making sure that everything is small. Don't jump into bigger things. Like if you're wanting to start, say, an IT company, IT services company, don't just go by and take a big office space, start calling in people. No, don't do it that way. Start small. Start with work from home options. Start with people whom you can pay less, but at the same time, whom you think that could be of lot of use to you. So have a frugal mindset during the start, and that's how you become successful. You would have all heard this saying of Apple was started, Google was started in a garage and all that. That's all true, right? So when you start, you are bound to be frugal, and as you start, you will not earn a lot of money initially also. So brace yourself for getting along that. The most important thing which I like, being an entrepreneur, is you are one hat solution for all your problems, right? So you are an HR guy, you are an admin guy, you are an IT guy, you are a finance guy, you are a customer care guy, you are a sales guy, you are a marketing guy, and what's not role. All the roles, whatever you've got in any of the corporates, you are a loner there, and you are going to be all alone, battling it out, all alone, facing it out. So learn it all. As you are in the school, business school right now, learn it all. Know all. If you are wanting to be an entrepreneur, know all of it. Know all of it. Know the basics of all of it, because you are the one who's going to drive everything, right? You and I see. I can show. Give you an analogy also here. You will think you are a person like on the left side, but I'm sorry, you are like a blender in the right side. So you have to be blended along all these all these skills, because that is what is going to take you heights, right? So, and the most important thing is find your specialist buddies. As you're starting, you cannot do it all alone, right? So you need employees, you need team. But as you start, don't go for employees. Find people who have your own wavelength. Find people whom you think are going to be as good as you, whom you think are going to be, understand your ideology, understand what you want to become, share your vision, and that's how you are going to be successful. So you need to find those specialist buddies alongside with you to make sure that they are with you, and they are also getting embraced towards this great journey of entrepreneurship, right? So yes, this is also a slide which I love. Okay, so customers are always bound to frustrate you guys. I'm telling you this, customers are always bound to frustrate you, but mind you, customer is God. So you'll have to go through that frustration. They are going to test you, but it's at the end of the day, the result is going to be great and fine. Also, you will have to take it up, be it good or bad. You will have to take up the responsibility. So you must have here should be you should have that grit in you. You should have that responsibility factor in you, that good or bad, you will have to own it up. So you cannot go and tell your customer that sorry, my teammate made a mistake. No, that doesn't happen that way. So you will have to own it up. So it's all the ownership skill which you should come up with as an entrepreneur. And I also told you this, there's no such thing that you can get succeeded overnight, or there's no shortcut for success. You'll have to endure. Rome was not built in a day. Your success will come. So endure, go through it. You will for sure succeed as you go along. The most important thing, be passionate about what you're doing, right? So if you're not passionate on what you want to become, I'm sorry, you will not be able to be doing things great way. So be undeterred, be passionate about what you're doing. Otherwise, no way you're going. And the most important thing, which I feel, is you'll have to start measuring the outputs of what you're doing right from the start, day one, as you're doing. Because if you don't measure, if it will not be get delivered, and what gets measured is what is only what gets delivered. So make sure that you have your goals clear, what is the milestones which you have, and how do you get it measured. and and this is also something which you come up with the mindset of when you become an entrepreneur is givers gain. You will get yourself gained for sure. Your attitude will grow you, but for initial days, as you're growing, it's you have to think about your customers, you have to think about your employees, whom are working with, and that's how you grow. So initial days you will have to give up a lot of things. So that's why I put givers do gain a lot. You will have to give a lot of things to the society, to your customer, to the whole ecosystem. You have to give discount, you have to give that. You have to come into that mindset of, I'm going to help my customer, I'm going to help my employee, I'm going to help my supplier. That's how things are going to be on a longer run very successful, right? Right. So, and this is also something which I have learned personally is about, you'll have to listen more to earn more. There are quite a lot of times customers have to tell a lot of things, and you will have to quietly listen it out. You need to have that listening skill that, okay, customers are going to tell if they have a problem, they will tell. We listen it out, understand it, and that's how you earn more. You have to adapt it back to your company so that you earn more. Be willing to take risk. This is the primary most thing. If you win, you will be happy. If you lose, it's okay. You'll just become wiser by one more experience. But don't shy away as an entrepreneur. If we are not taking to take risk, you are not going to grow. So if you want to grow, risk is the primary thing which you need to do. The most important thing, your network is your net worth, right? So when you become an entrepreneur, if you're looking for an entrepreneur, build your network right away. Look up your contacts, that who all could be of use to you for which of your services. See that who could, just don't think that a network is just probably one of your relative who is a HR head somewhere. Okay, it's not just him, his contacts. So it's a spiraling effect. So you have an access to the relative who is an HR head, and he has an access to whole lot of HR heads across the company. And if you have a service or a product which is tailored towards HR head, how good it would be, right? So look for contacts, build relationship with all the people whomever you thought you have missed out with. And your network is what is going to be your net worth, guys. So as an entrepreneur, I'm telling you, in today's context, if you ask me what is your net worth, I will say only my network. So it's all the network which takes you higher, because the network, the word of mouth, the referrals which you get is going to get you into the greater way of doing things. And someone told that you are your own boss. Yes, of course. What it means, you have to be accountable, you have to be responsible, right? So these are the few must-haves which I mean, this is out of all my experience which I have come up with respect to what you should have as an entrepreneur. You should believe, and of course you should believe in yourself. Now I am going to touch upon, okay, now if you want to become an entrepreneur, you saw that, okay, what are all the must-haves I should have. I'll also tell you that, okay, if I become an entrepreneur, what is all I get? What are the perks of being an entrepreneur? So one is you have the freedom. This we touched upon. You'll have the freedom of to work from wherever, whatever you want, however you want. Yes, that's good. But at the same time, you'll have to be, as I told you, you'll have to be responsible in delivering things. You have a flexible work schedule. You will be excited to do things because these are the things which you are doing with your own passion. You are solving someone's problem. So how excited you would be. You will create your own way, right? So you will have your own way of doing things, and you will create your own way than following someone else's way. How great it is, right? So that is the most important thing, is income potential. So when you become an entrepreneur, you have a potential to earn a lot, and that's what embraces you towards taking this journey. You also feel self-fulfilled. I know, as I'm speaking to you, I feel so self-fulfilled when I sleep in the nights, for the fact that there are a lot of things which I am able to do. I'm able to give things to people. I'm able to generate a lot of employment. I'm able to keep the whole ecosystem happy. How great it is, right? So that's what it's all about, being an entrepreneur, right? So it's the self fulfillment which you get, and which you take along as an entrepreneur. The most important thing, build your own dream and become your own boss. If you have any doubts with respect to today's session, or if you want to get in touch with me for you to build your own empire. I can be of help to you. You can probably note my coordinates. You can get in touch with me in LinkedIn or WhatsApp me. I'll be more than happy to help you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Srivas. That was really a very interesting session. So I request all the participants who have the queries, you can post it in the chat box, or else you can unmute yourself. You can ask the queries directly to Srivas. So meanwhile, the participants coming up with a question. There is another question which was initially asked by Mr. Vignesh, right? So we can go ahead with that if it's possible.
Yeah. So can you reiterate the question, please?
Vignesh, you're okay to ask the questions now.
Okay, let me see the chat box.
He asked us what is the aim which makes you to.
Okay. So as first bit, my aim is to help my clients on specific fields of IT and recruitment. So we are an IT and a recruitment company into consulting space, wherein we help our clients to do a lot of things, automate things, make sure that they are there doing things in a proper way. So we are more of an bridge between companies, manufacturing companies, in getting their things automated. By what I mean automated is not just by processes, it's also by processes, it's also by virtue of doing things in the line, maybe line automation with respect to robots, IoT, bringing all of the IT tools into the picture. So that's the whole vision of the first suite. I mean that's what we operate for. And as far as vision is concerned, as first suite, we want to build a strong empire of 500 plus team within the span of next 3 years. That is 2023 is what we have an aim to have around 500 plus teams. So we have close to 100 right now, and 500 is the aim by end of 2023.
It was really great, Srivas.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so any other questions from the participants end? You can unmute yourselves, you can post it in the chat box also. So there is a question from Alhan.
Mhm.
What common problems do entrepreneurs face initially?
Well, questioned, Alhan. There are, like, as I told you, initial days are going to be, the most toughest day in an entrepreneurship journey. The first, I covered a lot of them during my presentation. The first and foremost thing is the biggest challenge of making that first deal happen, right? So when you create probably I would say a product or a service, and you want to find your first customer to make it happen, that is what is going to be the biggest thing, biggest difficult thing, biggest challenging thing, which I feel it should be taken care of. So that's something which you should look from your side, and make sure that you have a great grit among you, the great motivation, a great understanding within yourself that yes, my product is great, I'm going to sell it. So the first rejection is bound to happen. Embrace yourself, that's okay, but you will succeed. You meet 10 of them, at least one will be success for you. So get your incidence rate higher, but it is bound to be succeeded. Yeah.
Thank you,
uh,
Srivas. And there's a question from Janani. What do you look for in an employee?
Generally, that's a good question in today's context. You see, most important thing is the attitude which I look for when I am hiring someone. Attitude, because I am a firm believer of the saying that skills could be taught, but attitude cannot be, right? So, attitude is the most important thing which I look for. And if attitude is right, everything else can also be right. So if the question is directed to me directly, if yes, if it is directed to me, it's attitude. If you are looking, asking me question holistically, it depends from company to company what they want. So, few company would give most important to the technical skill levels which they are into. Few companies would give importance to the personal skill levels which they are into, and which is also job specific. Like for example, if you are hiring someone for a BD role, for a business development role, obviously that guy needs to be an extrovert. So no, a business development role doesn't fit along with an introvert, right? So that's how you look for, right? So I hope I have answered your question, Jan.
Thank you, Srivas. Another question from Brajesh. How to expand your network?
Good question, Brijesh. Thank you. You could expand your network in various other ways. Various ways. I could say that there are like a lot of startup forums, lot of entrepreneurship forums where you could be a part of to get that access to the network. But I'm telling you, the most important network is your family and friends. Okay, if you could just tap it, that's the biggest thing which you have got in your phone book itself. You just have to see that who could be used for what purpose. I'm sorry. So that's how you start with your network. So my first thing should be to you would be look your phone, get your family members, and get the list of people who could be of useful to you, who could be of useful for your scope of services where you want to start or where you have already started.
Thank you, Srivas. And there is a question from Satyapriya. So what she asked is like, what are the internal and external problems faced by entrepreneurs?
Huh. Good question, Satyapriya. See, internal problems, I told you, there are like lot of challenges which you find being an entrepreneur. First is, as I told you, to get that first deal, to get that first team member, to get that right partner for you to work along with, to get that things operationally right within your company to make that happen. That's all fine. Externally, there are a lot of other things you never know. So today, in today's context, the biggest external problem all of us are facing is COVID, which none of us even thought, right? So as I'm speaking to you, external threats are always bound to be there. Government will come and say the next day that whatever you are doing, the tax is going to be higher. So you'll have to be prepared for all of this. You will have to be gentle enough, nimble enough in understanding that how can you tweak your business model here, there, wherever you see an opportunity, how you can tweak your business model to make it nimble so that you cater to the right set of clients right away, than thinking that okay, this is going to be helpful, or okay, this is going to be a challenge, how I'm going to go ahead. No. So external challenges are quite a lot. Government could be an external challenge. I'm sure all of you would have heard the framework of pestle framework. That's it all about, right? So there should be a lot of external challenges as per the pestle framework, but you will have to make sure that you are ready for all of those challenges mentally, physically, operationally, conversationally, in all by means, so that you are ready to cater those challenges.
Quite well said, Srivas. And there's another question from Janani. How did you know when you had the right idea?
Well, good question, Janani. When I had the right idea, it's all about, when you go to the market, you speak to few people and you tell them what is it all about and how they take it, right? So, as I told you, there'll be a lot of rejections, but you need to make sure that this idea is going to solve the problem for a customer. If it is going to solve a problem for a customer, you have to tell the value propositions of what it is going to solve, how the customer is going to get benefited out of it. And if there is a resonance between what you're telling and the customer, you are right there. Your idea is getting sold. So that's it all about. It's all about, how you are putting that idea to that person to solve that person's problem. Obviously, because that's what your idea is meant to be. You will have to put it in a way that person also perceives, okay, this is going to solve my problem. What's in it for him is something which you need to think and which you need to tell to others. If you're going to tell it to him, if he accepts, your idea is solved.
Great, sir. So another question which is asked by Satyapriya again. So what are the difficulties faced in establishing entrepreneurial culture?
Entrepreneurial culture is very important in any organization, I would say. I mean, even a lot of MNCs are going towards it. The biggest difficulty is the top management. I know that I'm being a little sarcastic here, but that's the truth. Top management forms the biggest difficulty because entrepreneurship more often than not revolves around decentralization. And when we talk about decentralization, there has to be a lot of autonomy, power, influence for people to take their own decisions, make their own way of doing things within an organization itself. Yeah, and if that has to happen, the top management has to enable it. And the innovation is the biggest cultural change which has to be driven in. You have to recognize people who are innovating. You have to make sure that you are giving due importance to people who are innovating. You are solving some of your customers' problem. You have to make sure that if the customer is being told about it, that person feels special about doing things. That's when you encourage, you empathize people, you embrace people to make sure that they are more innovative. And once they become more innovative, they will solve a lot of problems for the customers, and that's how they become more entrepreneurial also.
Thank you. So once again, so and there is another question from Isha. So when you have an idea and you have to proceed, where should one start from?
Uh, Isha, a good question per se, but I think I also covered this. You should start from your own. First is you have to ask yourself whether this idea is going to solve what is that you want to solve. Once you are convinced with that, go to the next circle, talk to your friends, talk to your relatives. And as I told you, that's what, I gave you a tip. The first set of deal, first set of sale, try doing it with your own first set of friends or first set of relatives, because that is how you can know that where you're going wrong, and they are not going to be bullying you if you do a mistake. So that's okay. So you will have to have that first set of known people whom you get that tested. More often I would call it as a test sample, wherein you get your product tested, get your service tested, to those sort of people who are not going to get angry even if something goes wrong. Start with them, and that's how you grow. Start with them, then slowly you can grow one after the other, right?
Thank you, Srivas. And another question from Arhan. So other than our own contacts, what's the next best way to generate leads?
Right, Alhan. I think I had also told that like lot and lot of forums are there. Like one is called, there is a forum called BNI, which is Business Network internationally renowned forum, where it's purely business related activities for entrepreneurs. While there are like a lot of startup forums across the globe, across various sectors. Even if you go around in Facebook, you will find a lot of them. It's all about where do you want to get connected to. So you have to make sure that you have your target ready, target customer ready, who is your target customer's decision maker. If all that is ready, choose your network where you want to get connected to, and then go get connected to that network. Then going here and there, and once you are in that network, lead generation is the most easiest thing, right? So this is one. I feel that network is going to take you to the higher heights for you to generate leads. And if you want to get into network, there are like a lot of networks. If you want, you can also get in touch with me personally. I can also help you out in telling what sort of network you should look at, probably understanding what sort of idea you've got.
It's well answered, Srivas. And there's a question from my side. So when
Yeah.
you start your business and everything, so how did you manage your personal life as well as your business life, and how did you balance it?
Thanks for that question, Indu. I mean, that's a question a lot of people ask me, right? So it is a challenge, as I told you. I also showed in a slide that 24 hours is not enough for you when you start, because you are the one who's handling everything. But thanks to my parents, thanks to the whole support system, thanks to my wife, all of them. Okay, when I started, I was not married then. Thanks to my parents primarily, and thanks to whole of the ecosystem who understood that. So you need to have that ecosystem of people who believe that okay, this person is doing something on his own. Let him do it. Let's not disturb him. If you are doing something on your own, you need a lot of time to do within yourself. So people have to understand that you need to have that set of ecosystem developed along. You need to make them understand that, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is why it is going to take a lot of time. This is what is my plan. If you keep all of them informed, they are going to support you, right? That's the most often than not, I see that, where the problem comes is we don't keep our people informed. We don't tell them what is that we are going to do. And that's when, people are not wanting to support us. If you're going to tell that, okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm looking at, so support me, you will get a lot of support. And when you talk about being personalized, there is going to be a hit as you start in your personal life, at least in your initial journey of doing things, because it is going to be that way, right? So it is going to take you a lot of time to build that business. Once you have built that business, you can sail along. But until then, of course, as you rightly said, there is going to be a hit on your personal life. You'll have to embrace that. Your family members have to be, made sure that they are also aware that, okay, this is what it is all about, right?
Yes, Srivas, thank you so much for the answer. And so hope every other participants have done with your questions and you got your answers very relatable and Srivas helped you with it. And if any other questions, which is so there is a question from Sai Siddharth. In the FP's model, which is the most important for entrepreneur, whether it is the product, price, place, or promotions, and the people? Can you arrange it in which
Wow.
comes first?
Amazing question, Sai Siddharth. I would want you to applaud yourself because this is a question which I think most of them would have never thought, but it's a very right question. See, again, this is very specific with respect to what service or what product you want to get into. So it has to be told with respect to what product or service you are into. But if you see, for me, I mean, as my company, for me, the first P is people. For me, the first P is people. But here by people, I mean my ecosystem, my team members, my customers, all of them. So that comes first for me. Then these later points of the other piece. But for me, the first is people. But as I told you, different companies have different strategies, and of course, your idea or your way of doing things have to be dealt along with your own way, what you want to arrange yeah, in the initial stages. But I'm telling you, in the initial stages, if it's the pricing or the product, it's better, because that's how you grow. And promotion, of course, so that has to be coupled along, because that is how you grow, that is how you are meant to grow. Because initial days, nobody is going to have, you are not going to have a great brand value. If you're not going to have a great brand value, you are not going to get that premium which you want to get profits on, right? So initial days, of course, it has to be more of a product price mix along with promotion, and that's how you grow, right? So I think I've answered your question, Sam.
Thank you, Shivas. Thank you, Sai, for the question, and hope your answer given from Shivas is well explained. And any other questions from the participant side? So if you have any questions, you can post it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and you can answer questions directly. Shivas, meanwhile, the participant has been asking the question. So could you please share some of your views into from your own personal experience, what is the very best things for an entrepreneurs? I mean, from your wisdom, share some of the words to the participants.
Right. Indo, the most. So you are asking me to tell that what is that they need, or what is it about?
No, from your own experience when you started on
Hmm.
being an entrepreneur, that what you faced actually, what gives you an
Okay.
boosting
You,
to
you you
continue
want to
forward.
understand my story? Yeah, I get it. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you, Indu. So the whole story when I started, I still remember I was we were wanting to do on this consulting field, because we see a lot of gap. We saw a lot of gap. I was working with an MNC before, and I had come up with that corporate mindset of doing things, and I know that how it was difficult enough to make sure that tailor myself to bring it on to the entrepreneurial mode. And as I told you, initial days, this was not easy for me to get that first order. It took like close to 8 months for me to get that first order. We are doing more of into the ERP space and IT, more of the IT development into the workflow automation tools. So for me to get that first order, it took 8 months, and after that, I never looked back. So during those 8 months, there are like a lot of challenges. Your teammates, you'll have to find your teammates. You have to keep them motivated because you yourself are not motivated, right? When you don't get income, there's the least motivation. But you will have to keep yourself motivated. You will have to make sure, understand that okay, boss, things will come into your plate when it needs to come. So you cannot give up. So for me, the biggest learning was then that I did not give up, and I had a lot of no's, and none of the no's could take a rejection factor into me. So I have seen a lot of entrepreneurs that if they go talk to two people, if both of them say no, they come back dejected. No, that doesn't work that way. I am from my experience, I have had so many no's, and it makes me stronger. So every no you get to learn something new, and you will have to move on to understand that how you can be better at the next customer. And as I'm telling you, as I told you, right, the first 8 months we had like no income per se, and for me to get that first income, I had to take a lot of toll. And I also told you, right, that's why I told you that we should look at your own contacts who could be helpful to you. And after a year and a half, I realized one of my close relative is someone who is into a decision maker of what I am doing, and he could be of slight influence to make my product sell there or make my service happen there. And that's how I realized that how important it is to access, nurture your own contacts, because more often than not we get carried away. We don't see the potential what our own contacts have and how we can leverage that contacts. So that's also a learning which I got, and that's why I brought into the picture also that you should look at your own relative friend circles, because a lot of people are doing amazing things. You just need to get connected to them to make your things happen through them, right? So in a nutshell, a short and sweet story of when I started, it was all challenging. I had to start something from the scratch. I started with a small 110 square feet office, and today we are a big team. We have got a lot of clients. All that is happy, but the journey has been little up and down, and that's how all the entrepreneurs would go by. But the most important thing is you should never give up. So that's the most thing which I felt I was able to do that there has been a lot of, even as I'm speaking to you, there are like a lot of challenges which are coming our way thanks to COVID, but we are not giving up. We are making sure that we are mentally, physically strong, that we capture to all the challenges whatever comes by, right?
Thank you so much, Srivas, for sharing an inspiring story of yours to us with us. And there was the last question from Satyapriya. So she asked that financial risk faced by entrepreneurs.
There are a lot of them, Satyapriya. See, it starts from payables to receivables to your loans. All of them are, high risks, Satyapriya, I'm telling you. So, as you start, right, you cannot demand 100% advance, because you don't have brand value. So there is a risk there. Then you move on. Your suppliers are not going to give you with credit. You will have to pay them upfront. There is a risk there. Then you move on. If you want to secure a loan from the bank, he's not going to give you a loan because you're just starting, right? There is a big risk there. So it's all financial risks are huge, but it's, as I told you, it is all manageable. It is all, what you think on. You will have to be having that frugal mindset, at least when you start, because you'll have to make sure that every penny you're spending towards your business has to be accounted well. And if you are accounting it properly, you will not face any problem whatsoever. So accountability is the most key important thing when you talk about getting things done, yeah, as financial risks.
Thank you so much, Srivas, for all the questions and answer sessions. It has been done, and thank you so much for the session was very informative, and you've given a deep insight of each and every areas. And from the very initial stage that you have been interacting with us participants, that was a very great thing. and you made sure that with a clear clarity what who entrepreneurs is really is, and you ask these students with the pollings and questions which make them interacted very well. And also you make sure that participants sticks with you in each and every line. That is also a very great thing. And even the very downsides of every aspect, you sounded very optimistic. That gives a very boosting and energy vibes towards us. Thank you so much for that, and you covered all the areas. And you didn't made it in a very theoretical way. You come up with an examples and giving your own life of do's and don'ts also. Thank you so much for giving your time of sharing your experience with us and giving all the insights of your wisdoms. Thank you so much, sir.
A pleasure is mine. Thank you. Indu.
And thank you all the participants who have been asking for the questions, and hope all the questions has been answered. If anything you needs to ask in for hence further, you can contact our team, and you can your answer will be get it done via email, and your certificates also will be issued within a week time. Thank you participants. Thank you all the people. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Srivas.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajita.